Hi folks, welcome back to the Philosophy for Philistines channel, where we dare to philosophize for the common man about things that the common man thinks about, such things as veterinary care for their little chihuahua. Crazily, and you're not going to believe this, I was contacted by CBC on Christmas Day and asked if I had a story to share about poor veterinary care over the holidays. I need to clarify that I don't think lousy veterinary care in Ottawa is constrained to holidays. And neither do I need to share with you that normally I don't view CBC's investigative journalism as being worthy of note. But in this case, even the clock's right twice a day. This young lady contacted me and I phoned her back because I have this story to tell you. And I'll read the email that I wrote to her and maybe used by the CBC in an article about experience with vets over the holiday season. Good morning, Kimberly. Her name, the reporter's name is Kimberly Molina at CBC. I'm still somewhat mystified as to how you came to know of our situation, but of course I'm grateful that you took contact with me. Since I had not shared anything on a forum dedicated to dog parks about Mimo, I remain curious. Perhaps you heard of this situation from another patron of Conroy Pit who may be aware of the situation. Nevertheless, I need to clarify that I do not subscribe to the current prevalent cult of victimhood which so popularly infects postmodern society. I am not a victim, and therefore do not wish to present myself as such. Therefore, I will restrict myself to sharing the facts as best I can. Over a few days, I had noted Mimo had grown somewhat lethargic, which was accompanied by abdominal swelling. At first, I thought perhaps he was having digestive issues and moderated his intake of fatty foods and other treats that he was fond of. At the same time, I began researching what possible issues might be causing his problems. Two possibilities presented themselves, the first being bloat, which is very uncommon in tiny breeds such as Chihuahuas, and the second being ascites due to heart failure. Since I had eliminated the possibility of bloat, as none of the symptoms he was experiencing corresponded to that condition, I suspected it was ascites. So, on the 21st of December, I drove out of town to a vet in a nearby village, which was reported to be less costly than vets in town who have that reputation. However, they were not receiving new patients. It was then that I drove back home and attended the local vet at the Finley Creek Animal Hospital. Remember that name. Where they did a complete blood workup and an examination of my dog. My fears were confirmed that indeed Mimo was in heart failure. Several meds were provided to me, except for the most vital one, his heart meds, although I had paid for them at the time. The bill for that afternoon was close to $1,300. I found it odd that no other vet in town had the heart meds suitable for a Chihuahua, that this clinic was unable to obtain them. On the 23rd, which is 2 days later, I called them and asked when Mimo's meds would arrive and received a desultory response from the receptionist that they were ordered and would arrive when they arrived, that I would be informed when they did. So here it is, the 26th, that's when I wrote this email, the day after Christmas. 5 days later, and still no meds, while my wife and I attempt to nurse a very sick little dog. The most vital med that we require to extend our little dog's life, to make him comfortable and keep him as active as possible. Needless to say, I find this both unacceptable and very disconcerting. A trend has emerged in this postmodern society of entitlement and disregard for the end user. Mimo's health is of ultimate importance, but next to that is the customer who, in my opinion, overpaid for services and meds that have not yet been delivered. I taught total quality prior to my retirement. Knowing the customer while both meeting and exceeding their expectations is the most important thing in conducting business. That the Findlay Creek Animal Hospital has not done. I am appalled at the extreme costs of having pets treated here in town, and even more appalled at the poor quality of the service and the late delivery of a vital medicine for which I had paid. So that is the story as best as I am able to tell it. I am grateful for your interest. You must indeed be one diligent reporter to have happened upon me at this time. Sincere regards and the best of the season. So I have an addendum this morning. Since it was closed on Boxing Day, the clinic, I called this morning and I asked if his meds were in, and I was told they had not arrived. And then I stated, you as a veterinary clinic can easily contact other veterinary clinics in town to see if they have the meds, because he cannot go any longer without his medication. To which she again said, but it's on back order. And I said, if other clinics have it, you can wait for your order to come in and provide me with the meds I need from those other clinics. All of a sudden, she had the medicine. Then I asked her, when did it arrive? To which I received no answer. Then she asked me, is this the correct medicine for Mimo? Which sent me hurriedly running around to find my invoice. And I said, wait a minute. Do you not have the invoice? Is that the med? You know which meds I've received and which I haven't received. Is that the med that was ordered for me by his veterinarian? And she said, it appears so. But you just told me it wasn't in stock, and that you didn't know if it was the correct med. Are you aware that you lied to me? And that's when she rang the bell. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at her. You almost killed my little dog, you silly bitch. I can't believe the entitled, arrogant, lying, conniving thievery going on in the veterinary healthcare here in Ottawa. It is absolutely 129% indicative of that goddamn government sitting up on the hill. More crooked than a goddamn dog's hind leg. This has got to stop. And I ain't no victim, and I won't be victimized. So I went down, I got the medicine out of her hand, and gave it to my dog, and guess what happened? He instantly perked up and started running around like a normal little dog. They almost killed my bloody dog. I won't have it. And I'm sure there's many of you out there who are loving pet owners, as my wife and I are, that would agree with me. I invite you not to attend the Findlay Creek Animal Hospital. Do you think any apology was forthcoming? Or that they said, I'm sorry? No. No apologies. No admission that they were incorrect. And this is the other thing. They said they didn't have it in Mimo's dosage, and that's why I couldn't receive it. It turned out it comes in a vial with a syringe that measures out the exact doses that any dog would need, whether it was Mimo or a Labrador or a Great Dane. So they lied to me right off the get-go. Gosh, I hope you're going to have a good new year, because I intend to have one too. My year is going to be made good by getting back at people that lie, cheat, steal, and connive their way for life. That makes me say, Merry Christmas for what's the rest of it. And boy, oh boy, is this going to be a good new year. Just wait till I get a hold of you guys.